Welcome back to Days of Our... Today we will learn about the heartbreaking loss of a man whose music shaped generations, Bobby Hart, the co-writer of the legendary Days of Our Lives theme song, who has passed away at the age of 86. His death marks the closing of a chapter in television and music history, but his melodies will forever echo across living rooms worldwide, reminding us of the power of song to capture emotion and memory. The final curtain for a musical legend. On September 10, 2025, Bobby Hart left this world. Leaving behind an extraordinary career filled with unforgettable compositions. He was the last surviving member of the trio that created the Days of Our Lives theme song, a melody that has become synonymous with both the show itself and the broader culture of daytime television. His passing was not only a loss to music enthusiasts, but also to millions of devoted DOL fans, who felt a personal connection each time those hauntingly familiar notes began. With Hart's death, an era of creative brilliance comes to an end. His partners, Charles Albertine and Tommy Boyce, passed away decades earlier, in 1986 and 1994 respectively. Together, these three men crafted something far greater than just a TV introduction. They created a sonic identity that transcended entertainment and became part of everyday American life. The song that became an icon. When viewers hear the first notes of the DOL theme, paired with the unforgettable line, "Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives," a sense of nostalgia instantly washes over them. It is a ritual, a cue that transports audiences into the world of Salem. For decades, the music has acted as a faithful companion, comforting viewers through dramatic plot twists, family tragedies, unexpected romances, and shocking betrayals. What many fans may not realize is just how revolutionary that theme was when it debuted. At the time, daytime television was still finding its identity. The decision to use a sweeping, almost cinematic score for a soap opera introduction set DOL apart from its peers. It elevated the program, giving it an air of timeless gravitas that still resonates today. Beyond the soap opera stage. While Bobby Hart will always be remembered for his contributions to DOL, his career extended far beyond Salem's fictional borders. Hart, alongside Tommy Boyce, formed the iconic songwriting duo Boyce and Hart. The pair became household names in the 1960s and 70s, penning some of the biggest hits for the Monkees, including classics like Last Train to Clarksville and I'm Not Your Steppin' Stone. These songs didn't just top the charts. They became part of the cultural fabric of an entire generation. Boyce and Hart were more than just songwriters. They were performers in their own right, with a catalog of hits that captured the youthful energy of the era. Their music embodied the spirit of the 60s, a period when rock and roll was both a rebellion and a unifier. Through their songs, they bridged the gap between mainstream pop and counterculture rock, cementing their place in music history. Music that lives on. For fans of DOL, the theme song is more than just background music. It's a character, a silent narrator that has accompanied them through marriages, betrayals, births, and deaths on screen. The opening notes have the ability to evoke deep emotions, whether it's the anticipation of a new storyline or the comfort of familiar tradition. In many ways, Hart's composition is as important as any actor, because it sets the tone for the drama that unfolds each day. When the show paid tribute to Hart, it emphasized a truth that resonates with fans worldwide. Music has the power to outlive its creators. Every time the theme plays, it ensures that Hart, Boyce, and Albertine continue to be part of the story. Their legacy is not confined to a studio recording. It is living, breathing, and woven into the daily ritual of millions who continue to watch. The enduring connection between music and storytelling. Hart's contributions highlight a profound truth about television. Music is the glue that binds story to memory. Without the DOL theme, the show might still have thrived, but it would lack the heartbeat that makes it instantly recognizable. The music is what gives Salem its atmosphere. Much like the opening chords of a symphony set the mood for an opera. This connection between music and memory also extends to personal lives. For many fans, the DOL theme is tied to family traditions, watching the show with a parent, a grandparent, or even passing it down to new generations. In this way, Hart's music is not just entertainment, but a shared cultural experience that links decades together. A farewell with gratitude. As we reflect on Bobby Hart's passing, we are reminded of the fragility of life and the permanence of art. His melodies will continue to flow like the sands in the hourglass, reminding us that while time is fleeting, the echoes of creativity endure forever. Our deepest condolences go out to Hart's family, his colleagues, and the global community of DOOL fans who mourn this loss together. Though Bobby Hart may no longer be with us, his spirit lives on in every note of the music he gifted the world. And so, each time that timeless theme begins to play, we are reminded not only of the characters of Salem, but also of the man who helped give them their voice through music. His story is now forever intertwined with ours, ensuring that his legacy will never fade. Early life and background. Bobby Hart was born Robert Luke Harshman on February 18, 1939, in Phoenix, Arizona. He was the son of a church minister, and his upbringing was infused with religious music and church hymns, which contributed to his early exposure to melody and harmony. As a teenager, Hart developed musical skills. He learned piano, guitar, and also the Hammond B3 organ. In high school, he built an amateur radio station, installing turntables, microphones, and a console. These early experiences shaped his interest in sound, performance, and songwriting. KJZZ. After high school, Hart served in the U.S. Army Reserves. Following his service, he moved to Los Angeles in the late 1950s to pursue a career in music. He initially hoped to be a disc jockey, but over time his path led him toward songwriting and session work, where his talents found a broader platform. Career beginnings and partnership with Tommy Boyce. Hart's early solo efforts included recording singles, though not every record made a big commercial splash. An important breakthrough came when he met Tommy Boyce around 1959. Boyce was already working as a songwriter, and their collaboration eventually became one of the defining songwriting duos of the 1960s and early 1970s. Among their early collaborative successes were songs for other artists. For example, they co-wrote the song Lazy Elsie Molly, recorded by Chubby Checker in 1964, and Come a Little Bit Closer for Jay and the Americans. Also, Hart co-wrote Hurt So Bad with Teddy Randazzo and Bobby Weinstein, which became a hit for Little Anthony and the Imperials, and in later years was covered successfully by others like Linda Ronstadt. Major successes: the Monkees and theme songs. One of Bobby Hart's most enduring legacies comes from his work with Tommy Boyce for the Monkees, a popular television and music act in the 1960s. The duo wrote several of the Monkees' biggest hits, including Last Train to Clarksville, their first #1 hit, I'm Not Your Steppin' Stone, Words, Valerie, and I Wanna Be Free. They also helped produce material, made backing arrangements, and contributed to shaping the distinctive Monkees sound. Official Boyce and Hart. A particularly notable work is the theme song for the soap opera Days of Our Lives, co-written by Hart, Boyce, and Charles Albertine. This theme has become iconic, almost inseparable from the show itself. Beyond popular songs and television themes, Hart and Boyce also released music under their own names. For example, songs like I Wonder What She's Doing Tonight and Alice Long, You're Still My Favorite Girlfriend, were hits for the duo themselves. Other contributions, later career, and achievements. Hart continued to write and collaborate broadly beyond his work with Boyce. He contributed songs for other artists, television shows, and movie soundtracks. One such achievement was his co-written song Over You with Austin Roberts for the film Tender Mercies, which earned an Academy Award nomination. In addition, Hart worked with various other acts, including New Edition, LaToya Jackson, and Robbie Neville. During the 1970s, he reunited with Boyce and members of the Monkees, Davy Jones, Mickey Dolenz, for touring and albums under the name Dolenz, Jones, Boyce, and Hart. Places of residence, lifestyle, and personal details. Though born in Phoenix, Arizona, Hart spent significant portions of his life in Los Angeles. where much of his professional work was based. After high school and military service, he relocated to Los Angeles in the late 1950s to pursue musical opportunities. He maintained his home in Los Angeles in later years, and that is where he passed away. On the personal front, Hart was married twice. His most recent spouse was singer Boyce and Hart. From a previous marriage, he had 2 children. He was involved in spiritual practices and reflection. His website mentions reading teachings, enjoying meditation gardens, and cherishing time outdoors. Bobby Hart. Hart also documented his life in his memoir, Psychedelic Bubblegum, where he reflected on his early years, his creative partnership with Boyce, the music industry's highs and lows, and the many songs and performances that formed his legacy. Legacy and influence. Over his lifetime, Bobby Hart's songs sold in the tens of millions. He and Boyce together wrote hundreds of songs, many of which remain embedded in popular culture. His work helped shape the sound of pop in the 1960s and beyond, influencing subsequent songwriters, bands, television shows, and even social movements. For example, his involvement in supporting the lowering of the voting age to 18. The theme for Days of Our Lives is just one example of how Hart's music became more than entertainment. It became a ritual, a sonic signature that tied viewers emotionally to a show, to characters, and to moments in their own lives. Even today, when that opening music begins, the anthem brings a sense of continuity, tradition, and perhaps comfort.